My very real job, YouTube, has been earning me about $2.50 an hour for a while, before expenses. Talk about doing something for a love of the game. Anyway, I owe the IRS $18,000. Honestly, not that bad, it's been worse. I usually kick the Israeli can down the road until I hit it big, Herp will do it style from some random and unexpected series I produce, but because it's been a while since a banger, I called the IRS asking for an extension.
No, sir.
What do you mean no? I always do this. I can never afford my taxes on time.
Son, you're in tax debt collections now.
Taxes aren't even due for like 2 more weeks.
No, son, this is for your 2020 tax year.
Well, in 2020, I paid over $50,000 in taxes. How do I owe more? In 2017, I started my first LLC, later starting a second, so I had 2 simultaneously. Was this a good idea? No, I was 17. I didn't know what I was doing. Both companies, although so small that even calling them companies is absolutely a form of LARPing, had full-time employees on payroll, because everyone loves a 17-year-old being responsible for their paychecks. I know I did not offer dental or medical, but anyway, I had to withhold a part of their paychecks for taxes. I'm pretty sure I paid them every quarter.
Yes, sir. You did pay them every quarter. I actually see that here on your file. However, for your 2 employees, you didn't include a copy of their W-2s, so there's no proof you made these payments.
But I paid the tax, and I definitely sent W-2s to my employees.
Yes, sir.
And you see the payments I made?
Yes, sir.
That's not enough proof that I paid?
You still gotta send us a copy of their W-2s at the end of the year. Don't worry, though. We're not the ATF. We're not gonna shoot your dog. It's just a $500 penalty. You can pay
$500 for 1 form.
You're missing 2 forms.
I owe $1,000.
Son, you owe us $1,500. We've been charging you 6% interest.
Why didn't you tell me?
We've been mailing you notices for 6 years.
I moved houses in 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, and 2021. Every time I moved, I updated the address to all 3 tax accounts. But one year, one of these happened to slip through the cracks. I failed to update the address, and they were sending notices to some random rental house. Either the new tenants were throwing away the notices for 6 years, or the IRS didn't care that they were being returned to sender and kept sending them anyway. But either way, even though they had my contact information on file from my other LLC and my personal taxes, like my phone number, my new address, my email, they have literally everything about me, my dick size, they could have reached out any other way, but they didn't, so I owe $1,500 before my actual taxes. Do I have that? No. But even worse, do you accept like credit cards?
Yes, sir, we do.
Oh, okay.
It's no longer payable, though. We send the bill to collections.
Well, but I haven't even been contacted by any debt collectors. I call the IRS every year just to check in, make sure things are chill, make sure I'm not about to get my door knocked down. And for 6 years, they were like, yep, you're good. They never brought it up to me. It wasn't until I tried filing an extension this year that I was denied. Not because of debt specifically, but because of the fact that the debt went to collections. It had been too long. They'll give you an extension if you owe them money, but they won't give you an extension if you're in collections, which is how I found out about the money I owe. The full $18,000 is due immediately and will begin accruing daily fines and interest. I called the debt collector from a throwaway phone number, and they said I'm not in collections with them and to try the other 2 IRS debt collectors. It's very interesting calling them, because unlike the IRS who put me on hold for hours, debt collectors answer immediately. It's kind of scary. I've spent days of my time on hold. I'd be working in the shower. I fell asleep a few times to their hold music, or I just cook food. On the menu tonight, a fresh cooked dinner by yours truly with pre-portioned ingredients for a meal with everything I want. Whether you're after low calorie or vegetarian or high calorie, high protein meals like I am, HelloFresh is the service that provides a huge range of meals. HelloFresh is my sponsor that cuts down on planning, prep time, and excess ingredients without sacrificing freshness or quality. The result is a meal more fancy and more flavorful than I'd ever make from scratch, and faster than I can even prepare simple dishes. Pick from their diverse menu and substitute items to your liking. It makes cooking easier and actually enjoyable. I've picked up several cooking skills that I'd otherwise just not have developed, and overall, I no longer dread the process of preparing food. It's not just for single chuds like me, but families with kids meal options. Plus, you can get a freeze-willing 4-star chef's knife on your third box, plus 10 free meals, and your first box ships free with code GOHERPING HFZWL. Make sure to use my code to get this deal before supplies runs out. I called all 3, and none of them had me in their system. I called the IRS back and told them, I don't think I'm in collections. Can I have an extension, please? They pulled up my file again, and they said, oh, it's probably because you were sent to collections 7 days ago. I coincidentally tried to do all of this the moment before my credit score was gonna get reamed, which is like the one thing financially going well for me, so I would like to protect this. I had to wait an additional 2 weeks just for the debt to fully process into collections, which was a very uncomfortable 2 weeks. I went ahead and paid my state income tax of about $2,000. 14 days passed, I called the debt collectors back and asked them to send the debt back to the IRS so I could file a dispute. I felt confident about getting the penalty dropped because I've actually gotten a lot of fines dropped in the past. Like, you kind of just ask nicely, and they're like, aw, okay, buddy. One time I filed a document late and got a $4,000 penalty for it. But I was like, hey, I'm so sincerely sorry. Can you just let me off the hook? And the guy went, yeah, that's fine. Oh, okay, that's it? Yep, and I never heard anything again. But my dispute was rejected this time, reason being it's a business tax issue instead of a personal tax issue in which they give no leeway, which I honestly don't understand at all considering the $4,000 I got dropped was also a business thing. I don't know, I'm not complaining about saving $4,000. They kind of expect you to just have a professional accountant to do these kind of things for you. I had a great accountant who worked some black magic to lower my taxes over the years, but as my income degraded, he noticed. I mean, he literally did all my bookkeeping, so he had access to all of my bank accounts and all my credit cards. Eventually, it was obvious I could not afford his $200 an hour service. I asked if he'd be willing to temporarily reduce his hourly rate until I saved my... Okay, he knew his worth. He was not going to hear me out on the whole negotiation. He dumped me after working with me for a few years. I bounced around a few cheaper accounting firms after that, but honestly, you really get what you pay for when it comes to accountants. $200 an hour sounds crazy, but the value, I understand why. He knew what he was doing. My accounting fell apart the way a man's life falls apart after his first wife leaves him. I tried rebounding a few times, but just never recovered. The good news is I'm scared of women and only have to deal with money problems. $18,000 is just 1,500 Chipotle bowls, and I've definitely bought 1,500 Chipotle bowls before. But this was urgent. I need to make the money like immediately and all at once. At least pay the fine and then get the payment plan for taxes. Okay, 16 Amazon Flex shifts and 60 hours later, I have $1,457. Let's freaking go. That leaves me a whole $2 to do whatever I want with. It took 10 days, which gave me a couple days worth of cushion to call the IRS again and request an extension. Because I made the payment, I was now eligible to extend my due date by 30 days on the remaining $14,000. It's now just $14,000 since I paid the state tax and the fine. Can I do a little bit longer?
Let's see here. I can do 60 days.
That's the longest?
Does 90 days give you ample time? Son, longest I can do is 180 days.
Yes, okay. I can produce a banger by then.
Produce a what?
Yeah, let's do the 180 days.
All right. There will be an additional fee of $2,000 for you, son.
$2,000.
Do you want to do 30 days for a lower fee?
I'll do the $2,000 fee, I guess. He submitted my extension and it was time to get grinding. And by grinding, I mean acquiring reptiles to cook up a juicy video that'll earn $16,000. Because it was the best idea I could come up with. I don't know, we're struggle bussing out here, but before long, we'll just be bussing. Trust me, we'll be bussing all over the place. For my first trick, I will combine my old niche of reptiles with my slightly less old niche of gig apps. That way viewers are like, oh, is he going back to animals? Is he doing gigs? What's going on? And then after that, I'll just create regular reptile videos like the good old days. Producing this video took forever because nobody would DoorDash the goddamn ball python for me. I put like $600 on my credit card between the enclosure, the production, and of course paying for the actual ball python. The fact I spent so many days in a PetSmart parking lot and editing this video meant I didn't earn any other money for about a week. There was no time for flex. I was confident it would perform at least well enough to cover the budget of the video and hopefully give me a head start as I produce more reptile videos. Alright, well, just one small setback. I have many videos to... What is that?